friends. Welcome. It's been a hot second. This is game 51, Loose Ends. This is the last arc of this campaign. We are now operating in the folder that I've titled Endgame. I was like, oh, look, Thanos. Which could be. I don't know. So hi, welcome. Thank you for tuning in, even if you're catching this VOD. This is exactly where we left off last time. And it's been a few weeks. Thank you for being patient with us as we had to kind of readjust schedules and all of that. And that's probably going to have to happen in February as well. So just hang on with us if you can. Not the end. Let's start at the beginning of last game. You all managed to make your way into the space that's been left for you by Istis, formerly of Tabernacles. There's a cattail, and I just love Chris's cat's just like, yes, hello. And she kind of gave you the rundown, the piece that was missing to the bit of this story that you didn't really have anymore. And it winds up that you seem to be, well, pawns in this greater scheme between an entity, an old world or first world god known as Itix. She was the goddess, or the cleric of the goddess Kate, and who was the goddess of death and decomposition. And when you accidentally explode that god, bad things to the timeline happen. And that is how the first world died. Why you exist, why Itix, this cleric, possibly still exists, has to do with being fate touched, and that is all of you. So knowing this and kind of figuring out what next steps are, you moved into the Soul Forge. This was the Forge of Fortubo. This is where Ulrin's story comes to an interesting middle, and you had to deal with the Forge Guardian, which was now made of ice, which is not what Ulrin remembered. You had to deal with Mizui, the leader of the Lycan murdering cult that's been after some of Hazel's fellows. And you found that shit, as he's now known officially, Alton, Ulrin's cousin, who has sold the family business and done all kinds of crap and started using people's souls to forge weapons, and it's gross. So, the Forge Guardian is inert. Mizui has been decapitated brutally by Hazel. Head now somewhere else. We can determine where the head is if you want to go pick it up. You all are breathing hard. Some of you got a little wrecked. And Alton is... Someone remind me, is Alton unconscious? I think someone, chuffed him upside the head, right?
Yeah, I punched him in the...
Hey, there we go. You punched him. So he is out cold on the ice-covered floor. And this is where you all stand. What do you think?
I take it that's your cousin.
Sorry, I had to swallow. Hi. This is Em. I don't know what we should do with him. Oh, that was adorable. The cat wants to kill him. Okay.
Murder, says the cat. Do a murder. Okay. He is unconscious, unarmed.
Yeah,
so,
he is.
There's that.
I'm going to walk over towards the Forge Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
And can I check to see if there's anything that will reset it or get it back to normal, or maybe some kind of fire thing, or what caused it? I just want to know why. Why?
Is there a role for just tell me the answer?
Just tell me. I just want to know.
So, and you notice this first on. You know what these guardians look like. They're massive automatons that act under the command of Fortubo and their clerics. So you have intimate knowledge of how this thing works. You built a few of them over your time. And these memories start kind of rushing back. So I'm actually going to have you make a religion roll. What is your religion modifier?
It's 6 plus
Okay.
just 6, or do you want to add the all hammer prayer beads thingies?
Yeah, we can add that in.
So that's +2, so it's
Okay,
8.
so +8. Yep, go ahead and roll that for me. You're trying to dredge up memories that have long been lost.
So 23.
23. Okay. It you can see through the ice, and it's that kind of ice that's almost completely clear but has like veins of blue running through it, just like this entire room that you're in. And it clearly the ice was almost, there is a symmetry to it. This wasn't just like, oh, someone cast an ice spell or some kind of nature spell on this creature to give it some kind of extra armor or an extra weapon. This was done to it with purpose. And you can see the metal and the parts, the sockets, the joints of the Forge Guardian below it. If you could break through the ice, you could probably reactivate this. Every Forge Guardian has basically their own self-powering forge inside of its chest.
Alrighty.
You know the stove in the basement from Home Alone? Kind of looks like that.
No!
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. I'm gonna just start kind of like fall to my knees beside it and take out like my smith's tools and stuff and just kind of start chipping away where I believe the forge would be. I want to kind of just cut away and chip away as much of the ice as I can and like try and just make my way through to that forge. Okay. And see if just the heat from it, like actually getting it open to air and stuff and getting oxygen in there to help it rekindle.
It's gonna take some time.
Will then melt away the ice that it's been cast in.
Okay, I will say Hazel can come over. And we're waiting on Julia. She will be here, but she's gonna come over to the other side and just start like raking her claws through the ice while she still has tiger form, and start helping you from the other side of this rather large entity. And you all can hear the ice chipping away. 7 is gonna come over and hit a couple of people with some healing words. So Marble 9, back to you. Elijah 11, back to you.
Thanks.
Ulrin, he's got one more. 10, back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help them by using my produce flame.
Okay. So
and my hammer has like a flame effect too, so I'd imagine I'm probably using that as well, just to kind of help. But
okay, we'll just kind of. I'm just gonna roll to see how long this takes. Yeah, it's very thick ice. When you think about getting 1/10 of an inch of ice on your car, and you have to like chip away at the windshield. This is a solid, probably foot of ice all around the Forge Guardian. So if you want to focus on the chest area, you can do that in hopes that the rest of the ice will then slough off. So about, I'd say probably a half an hour, so 30 minutes of doing this, and you can start to see the iron and the other bits of metal. These things weren't just functional; they were beautiful. They were created machines and works of art. And you can see where someone, could have been Alton, you have no idea, has pulled all of the valuable metals and jewels out of this thing, and now it is just bare metal. It's ugly. There's no more emeralds or diamonds in the kind of the chassis area of this creature, but you eventually can make your way to the forge.
All right, so when I get to the like original forge or whatever, I want to use sacred flame to reignite it and see if using that flame will reignite it, or if it just auto reignites. I don't know, but I'll wait a second once I get to it and kind of inspect it, and then reignite it with sacred flame to see if that will kickstart it back on.
Why don't you make a wisdom check for me as you're doing this?
23
23.
plus
All right.
2, maybe. No, yeah, just 23.
23. You're pretty sure that it's going to take a bigger blast of heat to start this thing up. There's two parts to programming a Forge Guardian. There's starting it, and then there is giving it a set of orders. So it's up to you how you want to start this. I saw Neuraxis move over towards the unconscious dwarf.
Well, he has the chains of binding or whatever on him.
Mhm.
Those
Yeah,
chains.
that's
that
true.
y'all have had for forever. Yeah.
Yeah, since the Feywild, I think.
Yeah.
So he's not
I mean-
going anywhere. If he stands up,
mean-
I'll just be like, sit down.
If you really want to start this thing, I have a fireball in the tank still.
I don't.
It's like directly into the chest cavity.
Just
Yeah,
Right, guys, step back.
I have fire bolt,
Yeah.
and I can
How
cast
big
it
of
as
a
many times as I
how
want.
big of a blast, or would it be a blast, or would it be just fire?
I mean,
Not sure.
Do I
Oh,
know?
oops.
Yeah. It's,
oh god.
oh my god.
On fire?
Yeah, I also have burning hands. I should mention.
I was going to say I have firestorm.
That
Oh,
is certainly
Jesus.
a solution to the problem.
That is a solution. Whether it's the best solution.
Ah.
Bolt, though, is I always think of Bolt like one little streak of fire that
It's like
hits
ember.
a targeted area. Yeah, so that is
Yeah, it's
easily
just
to
like
control. Yeah, it's basically just one level powered higher than Sacred Flame.
Yeah.
Pink.
Oh, okay.
Burning hands is the same. It's just like a cone that goes.
Yeah.
So would I need something like? Would I know how hot or how high intensity?
Okay, I won't lead you on too much then. You know that the
Because
easiest
I'll
way
just.
to start these things is with the tools from the forge itself.
The only way.
It's the easiest way.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's that. We could jumpstart the car, or we could just get the keys. It seems.
Do I hotwire it or do I go find?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got an idea.
Oh no.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
The famous last words.
That's our MO.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I'm gonna cast Searing
Yes.
Smite,
Okay.
and then I'm going to use my Fury and Fire.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
Cat hair. So I'm just gonna like make the Fury and Fire of the Dawn like white hot at the hammer, and then I'm going to just bring it down inside the chest cavity like CPR, and just like start CPRing this giant automaton with this white flaming hot like hammer,
Okay.
and just give it a good old fashioned jumpstart.
Okay. You don't even really hesitate with doing that, and when you bring your hammer down into the chest cavity, the miniature forge that's on the Guardian, you watch sparks start to fly, and you all look over, and it's like he set off like fireworks or something. There's just this pew, 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 and pretty soon, it's very small, but there's this that's tiny ember that lights. You'll have to kind of baby it to get it to turn into a flame, but you could start something with this. Oh, I think you're muted.
There's a little flame in there.
There's a little flame. Yep.
Yay! Oh,
Now, I thought first, I didn't really think this, but I thought you were like, so I'm actually going to light Alton on fire, and I'm going to shove him into the body of this thing.
That was Plan B. No, not really. All right. I'm gonna kill him, then cast Revivify, and then question him.
Also possible.
I'm a good cleric. It's fine. It's fine.
This is only one stain. It's not. Yeah.
It's just a really dark stain that a tide pin.
It's just
can
one
get out.
stain on
It's
my
fine.
humanity. It's totally fine.
So it by nurturing, like I'm going to need to continue to cast something, or
Yeah.
is it just I need to protect it?
It's
or...
like starting a campfire. So once you get it going, you have to stick around and make sure that it actually builds into something that's self-sustaining.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you could probably hit it with Firebolt or Sacred Flame and just do that a few times to get it going.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna keep casting Produce Flame and try to help the fire with that.
Okay.
Okay. If I like look around the room, there is a lot of ice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's up here?
That is the forge.
Okay, and it's just frozen.
Frozen over the stone effigy of Fortubo's big bearded dwarven face hangs over the forge. You don't see any tools around, but you haven't checked the back room. And you're slowly remembering this place, but it's going to take a little digging around.
Okay.
So while he's doing that, what are the rest of you doing?
Yeah, other people do things while I think.
There you go.
I'm gonna shake a cousin until he wakes up.
Oh boy.
That's square one.
Okay. I mean, he got pommeled upside the temple, so it's gonna be... But you do manage to kind of, like, slap him awake. I'm assuming you're not...
No, he got punched.
Oh, he got punched!
even-
That's
I
right.
didn't use the pommel.
Boom.
I just punched him in the face.
It's fair.
Just like lift him by the chains and just like
Ooh.
wake up. Just like
Just shake him.
Yep.
Like a dog toy, just like, come on. Very slowly, you watch his head kind of raise up, and he's got this big, dark, brown, almost black beard, long, scraggly black hair, unkempt eyebrows. He's almost got like a unibrow going on. Very, almost like mud-colored eyes. There's just nothing. He's just very,
just
very
beautiful.
plain looking. Yeah, and he's, he kind of, he just starts freaking out when he sees you. Oh God, please don't punch me again.
he's just like he's holding him like this close to his face, just like dangling him.
I'm so... And he looks over and he sees... He kind of can't move too much, but he sees over and he's like, cousin! Little help! Call up your attack dog, please!
Drax isn't an attack dog.
Yeah, he just like turns his head at him like, what?
I am not paying much attention at the moment.
He like checks, sees that no one's doing anything, just like leans right in, and his eyes do the same, like the crazy red, like. And I will use mass suggestion on him.
Okay. Alright.
We'll see how he does.
We'll see. Yeah. Alright. Give me that. It's wisdom, right?
I think so. Yes, I have to cast it at
Oh,
6
Jesus.
choice. Oh god, that's a whole.
That's the whole thing. I remember this from the last time you cast it.
12
so-
creatures? Damn.
Jesus H.
Yeah, but
Oh, no.
like, he's the only one here. Like, there's no point.
Okay.
You
Alright,
just
alright.
cast it
Yeah,
on
it's
him
wisdom.
12
It's
times.
just all focused on him, yeah.
Yep.
Wisdom save. Alright. 13.
Nope.
Nope.
So my 1 or 2 sentence suggested course of activity will be keep no secrets and tell no lies.
Okay, it's effective.
Yep.
He stops struggling as you watch his face kind of go, almost like it just kind of sinks. Like you just watch all of the expression and the fear and the worry drop out of his face, and he kind of goes limp in the chains, and you're really big.
He just like nods. Mm-hmm. So for 24 hours.
You are mine.
Yep.
In another world, Neuraxis is the worst BBEG you've ever met. Like,
Oh
god. So Ulrin, did you have a plan, or did you just want to keep throwing?
Yeah, I have a plan.
Okay.
But so I'm going to look up after hitting it like with CPR and seeing that the flame is up and see other people kind of helping out. I'm going to look up and if you'll don't mind, I'm going to try something a little weird, but if you mind scooting back a bit. And once everybody kind of scoots back.
Okay. There you go. Hazel's not willing to go too far. Oh god. Okay.
Wait, which
Wall
one
of
is
fire.
Hazel?
I see. Down here. Very
Okay, there's
large.
2 Hazels.
Yeah, that's what happens when because her tiger form's about to drop, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to draw, I want to make, essentially, I just want to outline him in fire. And make it to where, the inside, so it's kind of like a furnace, it's kind of like being inside of a forge. So, the inside of the wall will be the hot side per the spell. So the outside won't be hot, but the inside will be the hot side. Oh, I was reading the wrong spell.
No, you're good. You are.
I was reading Mass Suggestion. I'm like, what? I can make him do
I
things?
can do what now?
Hold on. When was this added to Wall of Fire?
That's in 5.5. That's
So,
new.
Whoops.
Yeah, so he
Wall
just
of
takes
suggestion.
5d8 fire
that's
damage.
good. Okay. For this instance, you don't really need to roll. The wall of fire shoots up, and with the flame facing inward, you watch as that thick ice on the Guardian begins to melt, but the exposed chest cavity with the ember inside that's been kind of buoyed by marble, you watch it catch, and as soon as it's like everything in the room is silent for a second, Alton's not whimpering anymore, and you just hear the crackle of ice all around you and the flame from Wall of Fire, and you all turn just as this humongous explosion inside the Guardian happens. And Ulrin, I'm gonna need you to make a dex save to get out of the way. This is a backfire, which happens sometimes.
15.
Okay, you're just gonna take a couple die damage on this, and it's fire damage, so aren't you resistant?
Yeah, I'm resistant. Plus, I cast this Wall of Fire around me as well, so I take the Wall of Fire damage too.
So 10 reduced to 5.
All right. Is this? Well, would this? No, it's fine. Yeah, never mind.
Okay, fair.
I was gonna say I probably dropped my shield, so I can't do the whole shield impose thing where I can block it with my shield. I dropped my shield because I was using tools.
Because you were using tools, right?
Yeah. All right. So
totally
5.
5. Yep.
Okay.
You're
then...
fine.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm also on fire from the Wall of Fire too because I'm just standing over its chest.
Yeah. With that explosion, the smoke starts to get really thick and kind of acrid, but you actually do see the limp foot of the Guardian start to kind of right itself as it's shaking off the ice and begins to very slowly stand with this heinous creaking of metal on ice. It's this awful ear-piercing screech. but it eventually does make its way straight up. There's still ice on it, but now you can see most of the body, the featureless mask that absolutely could be... It doesn't even have dwarven features. It doesn't have any humanoid features whatsoever. And as the fire crackles all around it and then ice is dripping, it's actually creating this really large puddle that's taking up a good chunk of the room where the ice has been melting off. It's not enough heat to melt the ice here. That would take considerable force, or just a lot of time and application, but the Guardian seems to now at least be on its feet.
Okay. Okay, so now that he is on his feet and doing okay, I'm guessing, is he is there any question, like, does it say anything? Is it just like, or is it kind of like getting its bearings?
These are creatures of order. They do not speak, they do not think for themselves. They are completely beholden to those of the Forge.
Okay.
And having built a few of these, and with your earlier religion roll, you would know that you could probably give it simple commands. There are stages of these guardians, or different forms of them. The one that you have in front of you is one of the base models, we'll say. It's like a flip phone, but a guardian.
Yeah.
It's the flip phone of Forge Guardians.
I got a Razor Guardian.
You gotta like hit the 8 button several times to get the letter you want. Yeah. Old school texting. For you youngins out there.
Dude, I am pro at that. Just gonna say, I could do that without looking at it.
Beep, beep. You know what all the beeps sound like? Yep. How many?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is capable of obeying simple commands. They were frontline soldiers for the dwarves. Fortuba would make these as basically meat shields. Yeah, it can do a number of things, just it's not actually capable of operating the forge itself.
Alright. I'll just try and give it the command to like just like stand guard, you know?
Okay.
Just like stand guard the entrance, which I'm sure it would because that's one of its main things, I'm guessing, from what you said.
Yes.
Because it's like a base defend model.
It very much is like your base transformer, yes. It will, you can give it orders, you can give it orders in common or dwarvish. It can accept either one, so.
Alright, so in Dwarven, I'll just say, like, stand guard.
Okay.
Over the entrance.
Okay, so it
just make sure that things don't come in and stuff.
It's a very literal creature, and it's actually going to just move in front of it and block the door. There you go. Yep, move your fire with it. But yeah, so it's slowly the flame is going out. The ice has largely melted off of this creature, and you just watch this almost 30-foot tall, hulking mass of metal. It must weigh several tons. Stand in the doorway, dig its jointed elbows into the walls, acting like a literal shield.
All right, so now I suppose we should find something to do with this guy. Do you all want to regroup and maybe rest in the back room?
Just like Norax just like turns the dwarf back towards him. He's like, "Is there anything in there?" He's like,
just my office. There's only one bed, so you may have to share.
I'll open the door and I'll walk in.
Okay. He says, "Oh, don't mind that," and points to a mirror in the corner. So you walk in. Let me give you kind of the layout of the room.
That's his sexy time mirror.
So he stands in front of it, rubbing cocoa butter on his body, telling himself what a good boy he is.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
"Oh God, no! Why?"
Not
I just
my
want to
brain.
be
Why?
smooth.
Makes the guardian like screw it into the ceiling.
There's a mirror on the No.
Hold it there, manservant.
Oh no! Drink Bailey's out of a shoe.
Oh, God!
Ever drink Bailey's out of a shoe?
This is what what I do when I'm alone. I can't.
Oh,
I'll spit
no.
it out. So in the back room, it's about a 15 by 15 room. It's not that big. And there is a cot in one corner. There's a desk on the wall closest to the door, so the door kind of swings inward, and the desk is just to the left. And in the corner opposite the cot is a large gilded mirror that has one single crack running diagonal from the top right to the bottom left through it.
I will go check out the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why would we have been bothered by a busted? I don't what.
He goes, "Did you stand in front of it?"
I'm gonna stand in front of it
Okay.
and
No.
check for magic.
There is you see no reflection of yourself when you stand in front of it. Instead, you get a vision of something that seems to be on the opposite side. Kind of like a two-way mirror type of situation. You can see into a cold, dark room. It is very dark in there, so it's kind of difficult to make out details. You do see a work table, a wooden work table with several tongs and hammers on it, and off to the side what looks like a large fireplace or something of that kind. Brick oven, you're not sure.
What is this?
Oh, that's the family business.
Ulrin.
I guess I'll step over and look at the mirror.
Okay. It's home. What was home. He's using this mirror as some kind of back and forth between Kraghammer and the Soul Forge.
Oh, like a teleporty kind of thing, or a scry?
You could ask him.
Yep. He'll tell you.
He'll tell you.
Is this some form of travel that you have, Alton?
Yes. It's how I found this place.
So you found a mirror that brought you here?
I didn't find a mirror. I was given a mirror.
Who gave it to you?
Don't know.
Well,
How did you get it?
Was shipped to me. In a big box with a big green ribbon on it. Messed around with it a little bit. Figured out I could go here. Didn't know what this place was. And then, yeah. And then that guy, and he points through the office to poor dead Mizui there, showed up.
Where are the forge tools for this place?
Oh, I sold him.
Who did you sell them to?
The new Iron Keeper.
New Iron Keeper?
You remember
Who's
your
the new
mom
Iron
told you that the old
Yeah.
Iron Keeper, Greystock, had passed away, and there was a power vacuum in Kraghammer.
Yeah, but they hadn't elected one yet, right?
Correct.
When she left.
Right.
So,
Which
yeah,
would have been 4 months ago.
Yeah. So who's the new Iron Keeper?
Oh, I never met her. Trying to remember her name. He genuinely does not have a memory for this. Okay. Her name's Davina Duskheart. Ulrin, you know that name. Your family and the Duskheart family were actually political allies at one point.
Oh.
So you.
What do they do? What's their family's business in Kraghammer?
They are alchemists.
Okay. So we were probably pretty close.
Pretty close. They worked very closely with several gnome families, including Ellie's. Yeah, there were some really good ties. You didn't necessarily grow up with the Duskhearts, but if you needed help or a favor, you knew you could go to them. You didn't. Davina's several decades older than you. She's probably. Well, she's actually probably pushing 100 at this point, which is pretty young for a dwarf still. But she was always ambitious and always much more experienced with surface politics and customs.
do I remember if she was ever had a tendency to be on the corrupt side of like politics, or would I know if she was like a genuine person, like a genuine like you know like uh I guess cared about the betterment of all kind of thing? Because I mean they worked with gnomes and stuff. I would assume what side of her politics would I know? What side
Sure.
is she more
You
progressive
knew
or whatever?
Davina as actually a lieutenant in the Carvers. That she's an old school soldier who started very, very young. Her family really didn't like the fact that she eschewed the family business, but she always carried herself with a sense of righteousness that made sense to you. Your mom did most of the dealings with her because your mom was running the forge at the time. So when Davina would come in asking for, hey, can you knock the dent out of this plate, or can you fix this hammer that I shattered? Your mom always helped her out. But it was just business. So as far as you're concerned, unless something has deeply corrupted her, which, I mean, shit has happened, she was always on the up and up.
Okay, so she was just more like a ambitious person, not really one or the other, from what I can remember.
Very straight and
Okay.
narrow type of personality.
Yeah.
Very black and white. And Kraghammer society is like that anyways, so she fit in very well. Past that, who she is now, you have no idea.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, that's news to me. Is there anything we should be aware of if we are to go to Kraghammer? We had plans to make our way back, but we unfortunately got a little sidetracked. There's nothing to surprise me there, is there?
You're asking Alton this? Okay, I figured.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure. I was like, I don't think there's anyone else in the room. Also, hi everyone who's watching. What's up? Welcome to game 51. I always have to laugh at that. So, he just goes, well, I mean, your name's shit there. But that's because I spent a lot of time making sure that everyone hated your guts. I'm a bit of a
And
son of a bitch, aren't I?
what all did that entail?
Oh, bribes, selling off family heirlooms, talking about how you and your little gnome lover tried to stage a coup in Kraghammer politics. I made myself the victim and said you tried to kill me in the middle of the night. And I may have tried to kill Ellie once or twice, so, you know.
As soon as he says that, I punch him in the face again.
Good.
And I'm like, verge of tears. Like, actually, tears probably are flowing now.
Oh, no.
But it's just like stone face.
Oh god, Norex is like holding him, so it's like punching like a heavy bag. He like, and, like...
And I walk out into the forge and shut the door behind me.
Okay.
And you guys hear just a bunch of like fire noises.
The Guardian has actually, when you enter the room, Ulrin, its head, because its head is not, it turns on a swivel, so it turns itself 180 to look at you. And one arm swings around, because it can do, all of its joints are hypermobile, and points at the face of Fortubo on the wall.
Okay, I'll walk over there while casting Wall of Fire.
Okay. You don't have to walk too far. 2 massive crystal tears have formed underneath its eyes. And one slowly starts to slide, carving like ice through ice on its face, this path that you can watch. And when it hits the forge, there's a crack that happens in the ice over the forge.
Um, I'm gonna walk up to it and walk up to the forge and just take my hammer and just start wailing on it like I would be if I was just kind of like meditative wise, like I normally do in the forge whenever I'm experiencing emotions to try and get, kind of get my mind off of things and kind of work through things. I'll just start hammering at the ice on the forge that's now cracked, trying to bring it back to life.
Okay. Um, the meditation and the almost zen-like state that you are used to having, or used to kind of casting your mind's eye into when you're working at the forge, there is nothing but rage and anger and loss, and it's channeled through every strike. There's a Hazel! Channeled through every strike of your hammer on the ice over and over and over, and you all can hear the ice splintering, and he's chipping away at it. It's like taking a crowbar to ice on a pond. It's hard, heavy, almost seemingly pointless work. And with I have to literally just roll for this, with the 6th hit, your hammer sinks into the forge just a little bit. And when you look up, the robed figure of the Raven Queen is standing on the other side
Of
the forge.
what?
No, she's under the ice. No, that would have been scary as fuck.
I was like, oh,
Jesus. It's a horror movie now. Fuck me. Hi, Julia.
Hi, it's me.
We're dealing with Ulrin's emotional trauma.
Yes.
The
Nice,
There's a
we'll
lot
be
of it.
killing.
sinks just a little bit, and she points down, and she says, "Ask him for it, and I doubt he will say no."
I'll just sort of give her a nod of understanding and tears. Like, I mean, face is just wrecked, like, been crying for a while. You can actually start to see it in his face now, like the first time he's ever showed emotion in his face. And like a sort of angry rage slowly building up, but not fighting back tears. And they're just free flowing now. And he looks down and he says, I'm ready to accept my legacy and protect those that need it. I won't fail again. Not this time.
That second tear on Fortubo's face hits just inches from where your hammer had been. It slides almost right past your face and hits the ice on the forge, and your hammer is completely engulfed, and with it, you get pulled into the forge.
Okay.
It is a dark, cold, empty, lonely space when you open your eyes. Has anyone gone to check on him, or are you all just standing in the room using Alton's or using the cousin as a punching bag? Because that's fair.
I mean, I just arrived, but I think that Hazel would have gone to check on Ulrin because she's
Yeah.
worried about his
Okay.
I should too.
mental and emotional state. Maybe they would have peeked into the room to see what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily a question. Naraxis might like sent people after. Like, I will deal with this. Go, like,
Okay.
please just make sure he's all right, and I'll deal with asking this some questions.
Okay. I will say that with the timing, you all emerge into the room just as Ulrin hits that ice one more time, and then all of a sudden he kind of just disappears into a swirl of mist. and then the ice reseals itself over the forge.
I go over to. Oh, there's also a wall of fire.
There's wall of
Yeah.
fire.
Fire, nice. I go like.
I forgot to draw where I cast
Where-
it because I
where-
was running out in rage.
It's okay.
I try to avoid the wall of fire, but I want to go to where Ulrin has disappeared and just like inspect the area.
You all don't even make it in. You also can see, standing on the other side of the forge, you all can see the Raven Queen standing there.
Oh.
She just holds up a hand and says, "Wait." Ulrin.
Is he okay? Oh.
Just wait. Give
Did he
him
die?
the time that some of you have been given with your gods. Give him his.
Fair. But you better make sure he's okay, lady.
I would know if he wasn't.
Good. Then you better tell us.
This episode titled Hazel Threatens a God. She doesn't seem bothered by it a bit.
I give no shit. That's my family. He better be okay in there. We give him like 10 minutes, then we come in.
There we're going in. I'll save him even if he doesn't want it. God damn it.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, it's a great plan. Ulrin, the room that you're standing in is completely dark, but off to, I would say probably 15 feet in front of you is this tiny little, it almost looks like when Marble's holding Produce Flame in her hand. It kind of looks like that. Like someone's just like kind of playing around with this little spark of fire. Like they're rolling it between their fingers like a coin.
Okay. Am I like free floating, or am I like on my feet?
It's
or
kind of like being in a pool, so you could kind of almost push your way there.
Okay. I'll work my way towards that little spark that I see.
Okay. And as you do, it grows larger with each foot or so that you get closer to it, and pretty soon it is just fire, and it launches itself at your face.
I'll just take it.
Okay. There's no damage. It instead is this moment, and you've seen this happen with some of your companions, where it's almost like they go somewhere else for a second when they're communing with their former god, their lost entity, and for you, it's a memory. And the first bit of that is the smell of hot metal and the sound of water hissing as it hits an anvil. And then the repetition of hammers, and then you can feel sweat on your brow. And when you look and you kind of blink your eyes and clear them, you can see your fellow clerics working in this room, in that same room with you, just busily working on projects. And then you feel a hand on your shoulder.
I'll turn to face the hand, or where the hand came from.
Okay, it's a gnome woman. Bears a striking resemblance to Ellie, and you notice the bright ruby ring on her left hand, and it matches the one that you wear. And she's grinning, and she goes, "You know you're going to work yourself to death. That's not allowed. The night market's open and you promised."
I just embrace her.
Oh, so touchy, and you stink. Oh, God. Go, bathe, and then we're going. I'm dragging you out of here. And she looks over and up, and you see he's massive. Just the biggest thing you've ever seen, but you're used to it. Fortubo is standing there with his arms crossed. She says, "I'm taking him. I don't care. I'm taking him." And he just kind of waves his hand. Go, go. Heaven forbid I tell any of you to not go to the night market. So you get cleaned up, and she meets you outside your home. Aw, kitty.
I just got cleaned.
And the two of you are walking hand in hand toward the glow of alchemical lamps that float overhead, kind of bobbing in the night air. She says, and here I was going to try to figure out what we should have for dinner, and then I remembered the night market. We need to go right now. And she just kind of pulls you along, and you're like traveling in her wake. The air is warm, and it smells of different spices, and there are just blocks and blocks of these open air stalls. And you can hear the leaves crunching under your feet, and you're moving through the crowds, and where you live is this really diverse, vibrant city that is built around invention and imagination and the arts and science all blended together for creation. And you've never remembered being quite so happy. You've only been married for about a year, and she's been the light of your life, though, for a long time. You did change, but everything you wear bears the symbol of Fortubo, and it's a strange thing, because you remember this, and at the same time you're not used to this feeling. Old Ulrin and now Ulrin, it's this commingling of emotions that is happening. Some people actually see you and they bow as you pass. And Ellie just nods at them, and she leans in and she says, heaven forbid I take the Master Smith of Fortubo anywhere and you get a night off. Come on, come on. And then she's off, and she's pulling you further into the market. And then the scene snaps and it changes again, and you get a flash of rock and fire, and she, now current Ellie, with her hair kind of done up in like a half ponytail, just as you saw her, is fighting towards a minotaur. And you think, wait, I saw this once. I just scryed on her. I just checked. What is happening? It feels like it's current, though. How is that even possible? And she swings again, but the blow is parried by... This minotaur is massive. It's parried by his battle axe. This weapon is easily as twice the size of Noraxis. It's humongous. And it's dripping with blood. And you can see off in the distance a dead human, a female warrior, and over off to the other side you see a dead dwarven man. And he turns the battle axe around, punches it into her chest, and she goes flying. And then it charges, and you see her eyes flash with fear before everything blacks out. Those of you on the outside watch as the Raven Queen just pulls her hand back and slowly fades into the background as the ice cracks wide open and it like sprays out in this explosion. And Ulrin stands in front of you bearing a massive tower shield.
Only a shield?
Just the
Completely
shield.
nude. Just a shield.
Yeah, he's completely naked.
A giant, throbbing,
Oh my god.
rigid tower shield.
That is actually the name of the item. I
Thank
can't
God.
believe you knew that.
Oh, wow.
I read ahead.
Oh, shit.
You read ahead in my script? Okay. And Ulrin, you know undoubtedly, no matter what you just saw, no matter what is coursing through your brain, that this thing belongs to you. And I'm gonna give you that. And you just hear, you all can hear it because it echoes through the room. This voice says, "By the grace of my forge will you stand against the darkness from all corners of this world and others." This tower shield is humongous. To you, it weighs nothing. It feels like nothing. There is a huge handprint melted into the front of the shield. It bears no other embellishments or decoration. So what this actually is going to do, and you can read the card, but it's actually going to give you the ability to kind of look into the future for just a second, and get an idea of what enemy you're facing. Normally with items I would add to your AC. I am not going to do that for you because your AC is so fucking high.
Well, part of my AC is my shield, though.
Right.
So.
Well, this just, keeps that stagnant. But what this essentially does is, as a bonus action, the bearer of the shield can request insight about one enemy that you're currently dealing with, and you can ask one of the following questions. What is this creature vulnerable to? What is this creature resistant to? What's its main goal? What's its strongest attack? Or what is one of its special abilities? And when you ask the question, the eye kind of explodes with this light. All of the enemies within 10 feet have to make a con save against your spell DC, and any target who fails is blinded for 1 round. And after you defeat a certain type of enemy in battle, the shield remembers. And it grants you advantage on any future first attack against any creature of a similar species, race, specialty, or origin. It acts as a vault for enemy abilities.
Cool.
And the face of Fortubo above the forge has completely been devoid now of ice, and all around everyone's feet is just shattered ice, but also the crystal tears that had come off of his stony countenance. They glitter like diamonds all along the floor.
Hazel walks up to Ulrin and just are you okay?
For the first time in a long time, I think things are going to be alright. We've got work to do.
Yeah, but I'm asking if you are okay. We always have work to do. We always have 20 freaking things and places and people and gods to save. I'm asking if you're okay.
Yeah. I think as long as I have my friends here with you guys, I'm more than okay. I'm at home without ever truly being at home, and through all the ups and downs, it's been one of the best feelings that I've ever had. And after being, removed from my home and not having a home for the longest time, I thought I'd never have one again. But don't know what I'd do without you guys. It's been a light in the darkness for me for a long time, and there's been a lot of darkness. Thank you. And he just reaches out and hugs her.
You're welcome, buddy. And I return the hug. And then I'll just kind of turn around and wave to the others to get in on this. I guess Norax is still. I guess Norax is still stuck with the cousin. I don't know, bring not the cousin into the hug, but come on. He is fine, just leave him. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, it's like a group hug going on, and they're just huge armored green around. It's just having to crouch because everyone's
It's a fair bit smaller, yeah.
Yeah.
7.
Everyone but you is either small or terrible.
Yeah,
7
dear.
goes, I'm not terrible. What are you talking about?
It's
You're honorable terrible. Come on.
Oh, that's what that means. You know, I never could figure that out. Understood. It's like code. I got it. So, Ulrin, Neuraxis, and Hazel now have relics.
yes.
You know that the book is with Tyrax. I'm kind of still waiting on how long y'all are gonna let that sit, because you're just trusting that I've told you the right thing. Like, yeah, I'm just saying. And then Marble and 7 know that there are items waiting for them at the stronghold as well. So I guess the question is, what do you want to do?
I need to ask the cousin how we fix, or if he has, if he has like a notebook or a ledger of his dodgy dealings or whatever. He's a liar. Be nice to Ulrin again, and just like, and then it's like not in like quite so simple terms, but to Neuraxis, it's like he lied and he cheated and he stole something from my friend, and we have to fix that. Like this thing isn't done until that is like tidied up.
Okay. Are you asking him that? Is that what you're...
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
He points at the mirror and says, yeah, I mean, all of the dirty, nasty things that I did are in the books at the forge. I'm not very smart either. I just keep lots of paper trails, but it was mostly because I have a really bad memory, so I would have to remember if I sold, drugs to someone or if I paid someone off, and yeah, so they're all in the books. There's a chest by the stairwell going to the second floor. It's under the stairs, and the key's in the desk, and yeah, it's all in there.
I assume they're in some kind of code.
Nope.
Boy, you really aren't very smart, are you?
I'm really not. My mom dropped me as a baby, so...
I don't think that's an excuse, but...
Well, that's what she always told me.
Look.
I'm just doing what my mama told me. That I'm a bad person, and no good would come of me, and that I should be hit and kicked, and that's what happened.
Let's like hold him further and further away, like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm like, we should probably end this before like his backstory gets more tragic and we start sympathizing with him and to get a deep understanding of where his evil ways comes from, and we get attached and stuff.
So you had Pat eating your vegetables?
Oh, I don't like green things.
Neuraxis like looks down at Hayes and he's like, he's going to be honest a whole day.
Whoops.
we might find out significantly more than we wanted to. I just, oh god, like it's just like, oh no.
I mean, what are we gonna do with him once we have all the information from him that we want? And I look to Ulrin.
I think we should let him be held responsible for his actions.
Okay, because I'm a little bit worried I broke his brain, and he's just like,
yeah,
starts foaming at the mouth.
Oh god. Yeah, since I wasn't here, I assume he was zone of truth, but was that all we did to him? Is that all that happened?
No, mass suggestion.
Yeah, I didn't zone of truth him.
No.
Yeah.
I was on a rampage.
Zone of truth, you can weasel out of things.
Yeah, well, I was wondering why he is so talkative.
Yeah, Naraxis just said you tell the truth all the time, and
Yeah,
this
Kit
is what
basically-
now
yeah.
it's like falling out of his mouth.
Yeah, keep
Like
no secrets,
extreme
tell
tone
no
of
lies. Yeah. And now he's just like, oh god.
You know, if you take me back to Kraghammer, all they're gonna do is send me to the burning mushroom fields. Well, maybe they won't. Maybe the new Iron Keeper doesn't think that that's. I don't know.
You
I
say
won't last
just like
5
that's not a
minutes.
punishment.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. I won't last 5 minutes down there.
You wait.
Oh
But-
God.
You were making
we
weapons
keep
out of
them?
people's souls.
Yeah, I
What-
was. I wasn't, but I was funneling the money into it.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
What do you
Wait,
mean you
who-
weren't?
Yeah, who was the real person who forged them?
I don't have a
Mm.
talented bone in my body.
Oh god. I think we need
But-
his ledgers. His ledgers won't
Remember
make me sad.
when I said
It's
the
just
green
like-
guy showed up and he points at Mizui's body? Remember when I said he showed up? He showed me how to operate the Soul Forge. Apparently, he'd been here before.
Oh yeah, what? I don't know if this has been asked before I came, but I do want to inquire what exactly his connection to Mizui is, like why they were working together, and how it started.
Did he turn up with the delivery of the mirror or after?
Not long after.
Do you remember how to start the forge? Can you?
Nope.
Okay.
Actually, the last
You
thing
have
that
it
I
written
remember
down?
Mizui said to me before you all charged in, he'd actually just frozen over the forge and said he'd deactivate it for all time and space.
So he's the one that froze it.
Yes. I mean, I didn't think he was that powerful, but he did use a thing. It might still be on his body.
Oh, have we not searched that yet?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and search his body after he says that.
Okay,
I'm gonna do that too, or like assist Ulrin with the search.
got it. Both of you make investigation checks. He is beheaded.
That's fine.
Just
I'll
doesn't know.
speak with Dead with his cranium.
It's what I do.
investigate.
That's a thing now.
That is a thing now, that's right. Or one of you can assist and lend advantage. Ah, you both rolled. Okay. Ulrin, yeah. He's been decapitated. He's been beaten and pummeled into a pulp. It's ugly. Yeah, and he is a 6-headed, now 5-headed with the main head off to the side, anathema. So it's kind of a... Hazel, you find some gold. You find
Yeah,
a
I have
couple
seen
of
way
gems.
worse.
Yeah, it's if he's got something, it's concealed on his person.
I mean, wait, is he wearing like clothing?
Nope.
Like, or is he just a weird thing?
Nope. He's a weird thing.
Snake the person.
Can we find his head?
Uh-huh. Here you go, pick it
I'm
up.
gonna do that.
Laying it about 20
But I'm
feet
gonna
away.
have somebody else look because I'm in no mood right now.
You want me to? He
Easy enough.
puts the cousin down and picks the head up.
He just put Ulrin
Stranger.
down, and he's like, wow, this is really cold.
Like,
Okay.
just- oh, God, you're just
You-
making this whole thing uncomfortable. Like, just.
You do find the head. It's not hard to find a green head, snake head, in the middle of an ice room.
And I will speak with Dead.
All right.
Ooh.
You get, what, 5 questions?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember. Where is the? Might need the list.
Does Zone of Truth work on?
No.
Damn it!
Good try.
Aren't they forced to speak the truth to the best of their abilities with Speak Undead?
Oh yeah. That's true.
Speak with Dead. I don't know. No, it says they're under no compulsion
That's
to offer
right.
a truthful answer.
Oh.
They can be
Yeah.
brief, cryptic, or repetitive.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
Give me that stat block just so I have it.
Yep.
You can always
Hey.
revive him and then beat it out of him again.
Might be hard without the main head.
Ooh. I do like that suggestion.
Okay, let me see here. Okay. Alright, so you're gonna try this?
Sure.
Sure. Head in your hand.
Let's see if I can persuade a head. That's...
Yep.
I'm pretty good at suasion.
Scales had very quickly gone gray on this main head that had been chopped off, and you watch as the eyes kind of flap open wetly at you. It evokes an image, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like,
moist.
It's a snake, right? So it's got the double eyelid.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah, the nictating membranes kind of slurp open, and they're lifeless in death. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. I'm so very sorry. We're gonna lose all 5 followers. Like, like yeah.
No.
And the it just the jaw kind of unhinges.
Oh, I really didn't think this through. Mizui, why did she send you here?
It was my assignment.
To freeze the forge?
To use it for my own purposes and then do with it as I would.
Yeah. That sounds like something a snake would do.
It's 2.
Can we do we know who assigned him, or can we ask that?
I mean, I can. We had a name for it, didn't we? Or we found out the name of who I suspect the Green Cloak Witch Queen.
Yeah, I'm looking for my notes, and I'm not sure how much information Hazel has on Mizui, but they were trying to resurrect a god, weren't they? Wasn't that their first?
Oh yeah, Dendar.
The World Eater.
Yes. If you serve Dendar, why were you working for ITEX?
It just chuckles a little bit. Misdirection.
Lies. Betrayal.
Dishonesty. Less of a snake and worm. Okay.
I want to kind of learn. I say this to the Rex so as to because he is the only one who can ask questions of him anyway. Yeah. Did we like the time when I was away with the Bloodhunters? Did we ever learn if they had a main base of operations, or how far they were into this ritual of reviving the World Eater? Anything like that? A question to the DM at this point.
So, never had any of you in our in-game conversations about the Blood Hunters and the cult that Mizui was leading. Has the name Dendar ever come up?
Oh.
Ew. Where did we have that then from?
That
Dendar
is from
was
the
at the
very
beginning.
Yeah.
But we just assumed...
those were the UNT, weren't they?
Yes, that are messing with the Crystal Chateau.
And this is a UNT. It's a higher level. It's a more advanced type.
Does that make us prejudiced?
Maybe.
Did we just assume it's religion?
Oh, we just assumed.
Shit!
I will
say
that you all have been operating on a very particular assumption for some time that may or may not be correct.
That's true.
Ew. We draw the wrong conclusion.
I've just been fucking with you from day one. That's exactly what that is.
Just been storytelling. Just been deceiving us.
God damn it.
Okay, we've got 2 questions.
You got 2 left. Yep. And remember, this only lasts 10 minutes, so.
That's true.
If you wait too long, you're gonna lose them.
Oh, ask him maybe about the blue thingy that the cousin mentioned that he used to freeze the forge.
Oh yeah, what? I take it you're carrying your ice tools with you. Do you have somewhere that you slither out of?
I'll give you this because it's inert now. Check the 4th head's right eye.
That is disgusting. Okay.
4th head's right eye.
It's very
I walk
specific.
over to the 4th head.
Marvel's just gonna start cutting into this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. You do notice immediately, Marble, that the eye is different. It has more of a kind of a greenish hue than the bright yellow snake eyes on the rest of this creature and all of the other heads. And it looks almost glassy. Seven just hands you an arrow.
I have a last question for her, but it won't get us necessarily help us. If no one's got anything,
Ask about his favorite color.
What is your favorite color?
It's the unladen airspeed velocity.
Unladen swallow. What do you mean, African or European?
Oh no. Oh. That whole thing.
Ask why a raven is like a writing desk, because I still don't know.
Poe wrote on both. Well, Mizui, since you're he just like looks at the body. It's like, how would you like to be? I don't know. Are your people buried or burnt? Do you care?
Wait, why are we asking? I think Hazel at this point is just very surprised. Wait, we're gonna give him a proper burial? Why?
Rex just like puts his hand up, like just.
All right.
I'll give you this. Once our spirit leaves our body, we pass on. The vessel is of no use.
Okay.
And with that, the little bit of light and animation just... And it's now a limp, dead head.
Like, I don't think he drops it. I think he like goes and just like puts it somewhere. Just like sits it so it's facing. Okay.
The Marble, the eye that you dig out is about softball sized.
Ugh.
This is a huge creature.
Yeah.
So you have to like get around the head and like push all the other heads aside and get in there. And you all hear this, and she's got this. It kind of looks like a large glass eye.
I got the eyeball.
Could I have that for a second, Marble?
You can have it for several seconds.
Nice. I need it for exactly 10 minutes because I'm gonna use Grim Psychometry on it.
Oh, that's a
And
lot of seconds.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I just can't count that high.
Oh, that's okay. Me neither. And then I just sit down on the cold icy floor for 10 minutes and I meditate on an object to discern vague details regarding any lingering evil or wicked past surrounding it.
Okay.
I make a wisdom check based on the result that the DM may reveal obscure information about dark events that may have previously surrounded the object or hints towards a sinister purpose.
Fun. Okay, make that wisdom check for me.
Isn't it?
Elisha will just comment like, well, they say it's like, It's only 600 seconds. You can't count that high.
Is it 600? No, what? No, what?
Noraxis holds up his
10
8
minutes.
fingers and is like,
10 minutes. 60 seconds per minute. 600. No, wait. 6,000.
Oh dear. The divination
I thought
wizard
it
is
was-
off her game now.
Uh-oh.
I thought it was maybe like a couple of hundred.
No, wait. No, I'm right. I'm right. 600.
I feel like a few seconds into this conversation, I'm like, guys, I need to concentrate.
Go pick her somewhere else. Okay, with a 13, Hazel, on your wisdom check,
Yeah.
focusing on, and this thing is very heavy, and seems to be quite solid, and you don't get anything for a minute, and then you can still see your companions. It's not like you've done any weird scry or anything. You just get the sound of armor, like a lot of armored individuals, and then the very distinct sound of bony feet walking across hard wooden planks in rhythm, like they are marching.
They're having tap lessons.
That's exactly what's happening.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Like,
the necromancer is running stomp for some reason. He's just, he's just...
I'm a bit. I feel like I'm putting things together, but actually, has anyone ever told Hazel about the whole thing with the ship and like the ghost ship with the green cloaked witch queen and things? Does Hazel know about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so I come out of the meditation and I look at the thing, and then I just kind of like kick it to the side a little bit. And then I say to the group, I'm pretty sure the Itix, was it? The green cloaked witch queen. I'm pretty sure she's amassing a huge undead army on her ship. I think at just an inkling, but I hear a lot of armor, a lot of like undead soldiers marching. I think she's getting ready for something big.
2 of my siblings are with her.
Have you ever told anyone that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I had the conversation with Sid.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that's not true. I think he told Ulrin
Oh, that's right.
when they were like being sad about family for a while.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh, by the way, my twin siblings are shit.
Yep.
So.
Oh. Have they been captured by her? Hazel asks.
No. I mean, they might be ensorcelled. I almost sort of hope they are. They're the same 2 that Sid was worried about.
Ah, the big turtle lady.
Yeah. We sort of
worried because they're bad guys.
They were after her for something.
Oh.
They haven't had an easy go of things. We took them in after their parents. I would like to think that they're better than this.
What were they like when you knew them, when you were with them? Were you close?
Not so much. They were close with each other. I think they were just glad for a roof and food.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess we'll probably run into them.
I
assume more like when we go after the Green Cloak, if we plan on doing that.
I just be careful of them and with them. He looks awkward, like everyone's like. Yeah. Anyway, we need to fix Ulrin's. Let's. Yep. Mm-hmm.
What?
The ledgers and the truth dwarf. Let's. Yep.
One problem at a time. Can I like try to see if Noraxis is like more high strung than usual? Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to get a sense of like, is he worried because they're his siblings and he seems genuinely worried about them because he cares, or I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to like sense if he seems more like sad or nervous
sense his
or
like emotional state.
Yeah.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Yeah.
You know him well enough that it's not going to take a super high roll.
No.
20.
Oh. 18. What is
Only
she
11.
getting off of you?
He's definitely more on edge. That like he's normally sort of it's more lighthearted when he doesn't understand or things are like making him feel it's sort of dopey and comfortable and fine. This is like something that he doesn't understand is genuinely worrying him.
Well, we'll go deal with Ulrin's things in Kraghammer, and then we'll go deal with this. You know, we've become pretty good at dealing with things.
Yeah, no, we need. And we'll cross their bridge when we come to it. I just appreciate if no one, bisects my relatives. That'd be okay. Yep. And he just like picks the dwarf up and starts walking towards the mirror. Like, just nope.
So
no killing dragonborns until we check with you.
Straight through, or how do you?
I want to look at the desk that he has in in there.
Oh yeah.
And just see, like, pick up any paperwork that maintains to, like, I don't know, bribes about me, stuff like that, stuff that can clear my name, stuff that can clear all the people he's wronged names, and just kind of pick up, I guess, his journal, I guess.
Okay. Everything out on the desk, in the drawers. You don't come across any locked drawers or anything kind of secreted away. It's all out in the open. He clearly was not afraid of being caught here because there seems to really only be the one door in and out. And at least to your knowledge. And it's all work orders written in Dwarvish for various soul-bound weapons.
Knowing who has those might be worthwhile.
Well, you know who has two.
I'm gonna grab.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab those and all that. So I'm just gonna grab all
Yeah,
the
we
papers
do.
and stuff that look pertaining to dirty dealings and stuff off of his desk.
There seem to be about 30 orders here.
Jesus.
I'll grab those and
They're
put 'em-
various halberds, swords, bows, all weapons, no armor. Some arrows. It's just basically spin a wheel and take your pick on the type of weapon. Never the same order for a certain kind of weapon, unless it's ammunition.
Were all the souls willing?
You're asking Alton this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, you have to trap them. That was my job.
How did you
him.
trap souls?
You go into Celestian's gift and you take them.
What?
The same way we came in, he would out.
You all are starting to remember. It didn't mean anything at the time. But now there's that heavy thud of realization in your chests that there were dark spots in the sky. Because every soul that ever passed through Celestian's gift, if you went there, it was because you wanted to be there. And he would turn you into stars.
God, you are awful.
Is that-
Just like
Do you know of a way to return the souls to free them from the weapons? Do you have to destroy the weapons?
I think once you destroy it, the soul goes away permanently.
Can
You
I
might
make
want
a
to ask a cleric, though.
Okay, I was about to say, can I make a check?
just like
Yes,
looks
you
at
can.
Ulrin. Like this just,
You would be the one to do it. Yep.
Everybody stares at me.
just a head
I
snap.
don't know. Religion is intelligence based, Alicia.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
26.
26.
I was gonna say
yeah.
I
Nice.
could give you advantage, but
The
Getting the
movement
wizard to do your homework.
the movement of souls through the material plane in your world as you know it is pretty simple. And every religion believes this. It's why the Raven Queen is both lauded and feared. She acts as the ferryman. She helps usher them to their given place, and every god has their own resting place for souls. There is no such thing as... there is no proxy for Celestian's gift in your world. That was something that... And if you, as you're connecting the dots, I'll give you this. You're starting to realize that probably they realized that something like Celestian's gift was a bad idea because it was rife for corruption. Or it was rife for someone stealing from it, and that certainly sounds like the advantage that's been taken here. So there is no such thing anymore. The weight of a soul has to be heavy enough, and you can take that as you will, metaphorically, it doesn't matter. In this case, has to be heavy enough and full of enough life to be bound to a weapon, thus making it sentient. There is no retrieving them. You would have to break the weapon and release them to a permanent state of death. Unless you can think of something else, or unless you wish to consult with a different type of cleric. You know a few.
So the weight of the soul has to be enough. So, like, okay.
Those were particularly strong souls to be bound.
Yeah. So it couldn't be just, like, boring, you know.
Not everyday Joe.
Yeah, not Mike from State Farm.
Nope.
It's
Not
like,
anything.
Not Mike from State Farm.
Gotcha.
Not Edgar from Kraghammer. Not, you know, not a
Fucking
commoner.
Edgar. Fuck Edgar.
God.
Ah, Edgar.
Poor Edgar.
He's the worst.
And a soul means... A soul is not its memories. It was the life essence of the person when they were alive. how vibrant did they shine while they were on the material plane?
So, as disturbing as it is, Volcast would be an excellent candidate, is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
Bards.
It's based on their experience and their joie de vivre.
If you want to translate it mechanically, higher charisma would be one of the main ways to be able to. Entertainers, artists, some politicians. Yeah. It would just depend.
Cool kids.
Oh, good.
The in crowd.
Oh, hell yeah.
Someone's going to end up with, like, the sword of Stalin, and nobody wants that. Like,
Sword of Stalin.
Oh, fuck, man. I mean, well, but that leads to that point. Did that mean it was only quote-unquote good people whose souls weighed enough?
Yeah.
Can good people's souls be used by bad people?
Lots of philosophical questions.
Yep.
I apologize. Well, we've maintained 5 viewers for the last hour, so they must not be too bored. I would be like philosophy hour with the STDs.
No.
It's like...
Question is the 5 viewers just us?
I'm not watching.
I'm not watching.
Neither am
I don't know. It's probably... Hi, random folks. I love and adore you because you wandered into this and you were just like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, we're playing some D&D. And also answering questions about the weight of a fucking soul.
Yep.
Anyways.
Dwarf souls are denser. They're just like...
That sounds...
Hey!
Well, that's
cool.
just like...
That seems specious.
That's like density shaming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no soul shaming.
No soul shaming. Are we still doing top tips? Because that would be...
I was gonna say, we still do. No soul shaming.
I can write it down. I haven't done them for
I need to go back. Yeah.
Yeah, we're...
months.
Good lord.
Game.
Oh, yeah.
So, now that we're past all of that, so many great, cheery things.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the next campaign's gonna be way more funny. I swear. I promise.
Yeah. I was gonna say, something has to be lighthearted.
That's what
Everyone
Marvel's
has to...
for.
Oh, God.
That's what it says. That's fine.
Is that
I
hairball?
didn't mean to make that sound, but I just ate chocolate. A chocolate throat.
Oh, God. How many Marvel smokes 40 a day now? That's not...
Next campaign, we're just going to be farmers.
I'm into that.
Please.
Actually.
Oh, that would
Farming
be so
Simulator
great.
2020.
Hazel wanted always to be a farmer, and then she got dragged in, so I would be great.
It's the
Stardew
Salem...
Valley roleplay.
Oh my
Yay! That would be
Yes.
great. Actually,
Oh, it's like
I
Sailor
kind
Moon or
of would be
something.
genuinely
Just-
into that if we played Stardew Valley tabletop RPG.
Oh, God.
We'll just play that one-shot RPG where it's and we'll turn it into a mini adventure. It's that what is that? Oh God, Bigfoot won't move out.
Oh, no.
Or the Mothman won't move out. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Even better.
Wait,
I would be
there's a
terrified
Shia
moving
LaBeouf
to
one
Mothman.
shot. What if you just make that
Right.
into
No,
a campaign?
no.
Why?
Oh,
Oh no, where'd
Oh.
Ulrin go?
it's like the...
Right here.
He's out of here. That was we
He
just started
left.
talking about philosophy and Shia LaBeouf, and he like left.
He left. He was out. He yeeted out.
I'm
It's
still here.
fine.
My internet's just shitty.
Boo.
Uh.
All right. So, okay. Enough distractions. Go forward. Go
Yes.
forward.
Nice. Okay, what? Okay, so we're just now. Okay, like the
So-
forge can no longer be used to make more soul forged weapons, can it? Because it's frozen.
No, because he used the eyeball stone to freeze the...
So is it like good now? Do we destroy it? Do we like? I
mean,
don't
I
know.
guess-
Basically, like is can we like prevent more soul forged weapons from being made? Is that something we need to worry about? Is my question.
Yes, we kill everyone with the knowledge of how to make them.
Excellent. I look over at the cousin because he looks nervous at all.
Gonna do a murder. He does not look nervous. He's just kind of staring at all
No,
of you.
he's still like...
Are you sure it's Brett? Did you break his brain or something? Never mind. We have more important things to know.
I tried out full like dragon presence and it seems to have worked.
He flared his little gills and it
Yeah. And for 12 people's worth 12 people's worth of suggestion into is probably not a good.
Oh. Yeah, that might even be worse than the time his mom dropped baby.
Wow.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So, as a genuine question to Ulrin, do we need to like disguise ourselves before we walk through the mirror into his study and take his ledgers and hand them into a carver?
I know all about those.
Oh god. No.
Let me do the talking.
Oh no. I have also now read that book and I'm deeply uncomfortable.
Seven goes, I've read them too. Don't we just seduce everybody? What if we walk in with no pants?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You should definitely do that. That is the plan.
No.
Hazel starts like doing her hair up. It's just a fun. I've got this, guys.
They spend so long talking about spears. I don't understand.
I'll explain it to you later. Finally, over 30 volumes of The Carver Who Stole My Heart is gonna come in handy.
Oh no.
It's a how-to
no.
guide. Illustrated.
It's like surprisingly insightful.
Why the illustrations in there? Rather detailed.
The pop-up book. Like,
It's a pop-up book. Oh god.
Oh, this one's a 2-pager.
Oh wow.
Oh.
You turn it over and it just folds out multiple times.
oh god.
Just drops and like
Yep. Carver was
God.
my centerfold. Yep.
Oh no.
Oh yes. I'm glad Sam's laughing. Jesus.
Like
It's my
Arms and
best
Armor. It's like the
joke
Dwarven
wasted.
magazine. Just like dwarves in like just the new breastplate or whatever, like pose. You're like,
I don't like
You broke
this.
Sam. Sam is broken. It's okay. We'll give them a minute. We'll give them a minute. It's all good. It's all good. Oh god. Okay.
that's 2 people in 2 games.
So
I'm putting
you
it on the
broke
board.
Steve yesterday so hard. Oh god. So you were asking Ulrin about disguising.
Yeah, are we safe to just like pop out of a mirror into the like forge central of your race, or are we likely to get in a lot?
I don't see where there'd be any issue with it if we have all the paperwork. I think I'll be able to work things out.
I mean, I can certainly try and talk our way through anything. I mean, I'd rather they don't, stab you or me or.
They can certainly try.
Yes, they'll have a difficult time doing that. Plus, the more get inquisitive, and they'd rather use me for something instead of just killing me off. That's kind of what we do. We don't really kill off people. We use them as free labor, as prisoners. So
We'll not let them get you.
I think that we'll be fine, though.
Okay.
But if not, just point me in the right direction and I'll start ripping heads.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just in cases.
Just a little smile, just.
Okay, so our plan right now is to go to Kraghammer and basically just make our case be like, Ulrin's a dope dude. This guy is kind of a piece of shit even for right now. He's kind of weird and stuff. But here's the evidence. Everything's good. Cool.
Yes,
Are we still gonna take our pants off?
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No.
What? I'm getting a lot of mixed messages here.
While everyone is saying no, I just give a thumbs up to Marble behind Narex's back.
Gotcha.
Everyone keep their pants, if you're wearing pants, on.
Sure, Elijah. Wink.
Sid didn't wear pants, and she was a turtle. Can't have to wear pants. It's like I don't even know how that works. And he just like wanders towards the mirror, like I don't want to think about this anymore. Like,
oh boy. Okay. So, back on track. You're going through the
Sid
mirror.
would be proud.
Yep.
Let's go.
Going through the
Dragging a chained up, truth-speaking dwarf. Yep.
Slightly babbling, slightly dazed, possibly double dropped on his head. Yep. Through the...
I do want to ask him, Josephine, how do you feel about going back to Kraghammer and like telling everyone what you did? The cousin asked.
Oh, it's gonna suck. I mean,
he's so positive.
They're going to send me into dwarf prison. They're gonna go make me fight Underdark creatures, and I don't lift anything heavier than a box, so I am noodly armed, and yeah, pretty much useless. They'll probably use me as cannon fodder. They actually used to do that, and he just starts prattling on about how they actually used to, long time ago, load dwarven prisoners into cannons and shoot them into the Underdark.
That sounds awesome. All right, let's go.
Okay, so through you go into the dark room that you saw on the other side. Ulrin, you know this place like the back of your hand. Or at least you did. And this is just for background. The Bronze Grip Metalworks is a 2-story building. First floor is storefront and forge. It's all business on the bottom, home on the top. So, everything here is dark, and you immediately start looking around for the things that you remember. The crest of the Bronze Grip family on the wall over the fireplace, your mother's long shop counter. It has all been either sold, broken down, and now it is largely just a bare room with a forge, a couple of desks, and a few bookcases and a few chests, and that's all you see.
Okay.
He said chest by the stairs. Right? You said chest by the stairs, right?
Under the stairs.
Oh,
you gotta like wiggle the middle board and kind of put that aside. And also the chest is trapped, so just be careful.
Do you have the key? He's just like...
Yeah, it's in that desk, and he points to the desk on the right.
Just... Okay. He looks at Ulrin and the deck. He's like, I don't want to. He's like not trying not to touch anything. He's like making sure this is all okay for us. Looking around in his.
Fine.
Okay, just like opens the desk, gets the key.
Okay. It's a heavy iron key. Yep.
Like considering he's ripping up a floor, he like tries to be fairly like careful about it. It's like I don't.
Preserving the integrity of the wood.
Yeah, I don't want to just like rip up.
No, you can wiggle it. You can tell it has give. It's really just there to kind of disguise from prying eyes. So when you pull it to the side, there is a wood and iron chest. It's just a miniature crawl space. It's probably no more than 5 feet by 5 feet, so you can pull the chest out.
Just like reaching it up to the shoulder, just like dragging the.
Yep.
Okay.
So
We got the key, we got the box. Do we want to read these, or do we just give them in as untampered with evidence? Anybody? It's like...
I mean, we might want to like check them first, see if we just want to hand it over like this. Maybe there's some useful information in there for us.
Well, even
I look at Elijah as I say that.
if we do get questioned about the tampering of them, we have Alton to tell the truth. So
Seven raises his hand, and us, me and Marble, because technically we've never been here, and we could be kind of sort of like,
I mean, technically, None of us have ever been here except Ulrin.
The word of
We can
outsiders
all-
isn't well trusted in Kraghammer, though.
That,
Not even its own residents that aren't dwarves are trusted, so...
Oh.
so it's like a Draconia in a cave. Okay, that's right.
Put it on Neuraxis's level, and now he's got it.
It's like, okay.
It's Draconia in a cave.
There you go.
Are we in a cave?
So in the chest, you find a sheath of papers that all look to be bills of sale. Not for forged items, but for various items inside the home and the forge itself. Family heirlooms, forging tools, raw metal, ingots, bags of gems. He was just like fire sailing this place.
And what all family heirlooms? And to who did they go to?
Pretty much anything that wasn't tied down. So
Okay.
I would.
So this place is mostly barren, right?
At least from what
It's
you
not
can
really...
tell, yeah. You haven't gone upstairs
Yeah.
yet, but it's been shuttered. You can't even see out of the windows looking onto the middle slab, which was one of the appealing parts of the location. The reason that your mom bought this location was because it's really in the heart of the middle slab of Kraghammer. You could see everyone coming and going. You were in the middle of the shopping district, hustle and bustle. Can't look out. It looks like the door has been locked and shuttered. It went to all kinds of people. Basically, throw a stone and you could hit a Kraghammer family of who bought items. He made a fair bit of money off of this stuff. When you start doing the rough, and Elysia would be the one to kind of do the rough calculation really quickly, you're probably looking at 400,000 gold. He made a lot of money off of this.
Where is the money?
Are you asking him?
Yes.
Okay, I was just like...
Where's the money?
He goes, that's in a bank in Kymel. Some of it, I spent some of it.
What's the password to the vault?
What's the
Is there-
password to the...
Is there a
no,
key?
it's just
What's
a
in-
deposit box in the bank there.
Oh.
Does that also have a key? He's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and he digs around in his shirt and pulls out a key. Here you go. I mean, you didn't ask. I have to backfire this somehow, even if it's just to irritate your accents.
Does he have any will does he have any will left of his own, or is he just gonna be like this for how long? 12 hours?
24 hours. He
Oh,
will keep no
Jesus.
secrets and tell no lies.
Oh boy. Did you ever poop your pants?
Hazel.
What?
It's a good question, though.
Oh,
That is not
yeah,
the purpose
lots of
of
times.
magic.
I have really
don't-
loose bowels and I pee a little bit when I get nervous.
It's not a. Oh God! Look. Do you need medication? Should we? Look. Is it...
Oh, probably.
You never come-
I saw a priest about it a while ago, but he just said a couple of Hail Marys over me, and that was it.
Demonic diet.
I am
Is-
so
is-
sorry.
Is this restoration, cure disease, or regenerate? What are we worried about?
Oh, God.
That is your responsibility, Noraxis. You did this.
I just. Oh no! He's like started carrying him around at arm's length like a football. Like, oh God!
Oh, God, why? I'm
It's more effective than I
crying.
thought
Oh,
it
my
would be.
Oh, I have
I-
missed you all. Oh, my god.
Are you hungry? Do you need the bathroom? He's like, I don't.
Oh,
It's your responsibility, Nerex. Now you need to feed him. You need to clean in his
Oh no,
cage.
no.
I don't know.
I mean,
You know, when you get your own like mass suggested mind slave, you need to treat them properly. They're your responsibility.
For one day.
no, I'm good. I'm not hungry. And Pete, no, I took care of that when you all attacked, so.
Okay.
Right.
Who should we be handing you in to, right? You don't... I mean, with that kind of money, I'm guessing you have people in your pocket. Not literally. It's like...
Well, there was that one time, but, probably just to the governor. She goes by governor now. Probably just to her. She
You had
really
a governor
doesn't
in your
like
pocket?
Me.
No, that's not what you mean.
It's a sex joke.
Oh, no.
I got it.
What?
I did too now.
Hey, Ulrin, how much more do you want to know about your cousin, or should we just stop talking?
I'm good.
Hey, cousin,
Too much.
Hey,
Too
cousin
much.
dude.
I'm walking
Hey, cousin
upstairs.
dude.
I'm done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you were a fruit or a vegetable, what fruit
Oh,
or
no.
vegetable would you be?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
good question.
What's
Yeah.
the difference?
Between a fruit or a vegetable?
Yeah.
Seeds?
Well, it depends how they grow.
It's yeah.
And also where the seeds are.
Oh, I just don't
And-
know. I don't know what... I thought that they were all just, like, food. I didn't know. Remember
Okay,
how
so
I
if
said
you
I'm
were...
really stupid?
Anything
I'm
is
too
food if you're brave
fine.
enough.
Oh, no.
If you were a food, what food would you be?
Ale.
Why?
Because I like it.
Do you like
It's-
yourself?
No.
Well, then you're not ale.
I mean, it is basically bread, I guess.
Ooh,
Oh my god.
existential burn.
Wow.
Fuck.
Max just like points away from Marble. He's like, no.
I didn't know that question was contingent on me liking myself.
I need to find someone responsible to point this dwarf at, please.
I'm mildly responsible.
I'm now deeply uncomfortable with the power of enchantment. Please help.
Yeah, but in Access, you're usually always deeply uncomfortable about things, so.
That's also true.
Do you need a hug?
No, he like points the dwarf back out like, no.
Yeah, Alton was kind of like pulling at his binds. Like, I would like one. It's been a really bad day.
I can give you a hug.
Oh, thank you.
I give him a
Thank you.
long, squeezy hug.
Oh,
You
okay,
smell like
that's-
cat.
Okay.
Hey, Ulrin,
Do you want to try some lumpy nut milk?
Oh, no. Oh, please don't poison the...
No.
okay.
And he has to tell the truth so he can say exactly how good it
He
is.
has bowel
We can
issues.
get really valuable. Guys, it's all part of the experiment. We need
What if
to
he has
see
an
how good
allergy?
we can
Let's not-
justify it.
Here, have some lumpy nut milk. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Tell us exactly what you think of it.
Okay. He drinks it. He goes, I don't know. The taste is unlike anything I've ever had. It's a little
Mhm,
chalky, but
mhm.
also a
Mhm.
little lumpy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's called lumpy.
Did you refrigerate this?
No.
That'd be why.
No, it's all-
no.
it's
Oh,
Oh no.
It's always
Oh, oh God.
Frozen
Are
lumpy
you
nut
shitting your
milk.
pants?
I will
Lumpy
be
nut
later.
milk ice cream.
For God's sake. Rex is just like at the bottom of the stairs, like, Ulrin, please tell me you're okay. Please, can we... I'm so sorry.
Naraxis will never use that spell again without thinking of this.
I mean, the last time I sent people freaking out and running through a city,
True.
saying that death was chasing them for a
Yep.
day.
Which was very funny.
Mm.
It was not this level of funny, though.
Yeah, but if we had stayed there, the consequences would have been very weird.
It's true. Oh, I'm crying. Oh my god.
You wanted more comedic relief, Hallie.
My
That's
face
what we're
hurts.
here for.
Okay, so you have the bills of lading. You have also in the chest are some letters penned in Alton's hand. The one that catches your attention discusses shutting down the metalworks for quote-unquote opportunities elsewhere, and I promise once those are profitable, you'll get your money. The weapons I can forge now are more valuable than any smith can make. You know of which I speak because I know the sample was delivered to you.
Who is this? And he just like points at the...
Oh, it took me a while to kind of figure that out, but I think it's the same person that sent me the mirror.
That can't be good.
Tall lady, black hair, 2 white dragonborn guards.
Oh no.
Oh.
Nope. He just like sits the dwarf down and is just like lets go of him and walks away. He's like, nope. This is not mine anymore. I'm done.
It was funny, and now it's not.
Are they also your cousins?
Yeah, they're not my. They're adopted. I don't.
You have a lot of adopted cousins.
They're not cousins. They're simply.
Adopted
I mean,
you have a
yes.
lot of family.
Yeah, that's also true.
Because you have the
yes.
2 on the boat, and then you have those 2 that also delivered the mirror.
Yeah, they're totally not connected. Jesus, 4 siblings of Nexus are already involved.
That's
So-
too many.
It's like I can't deal with them right now. He's just like looking at Elijah, like, please, for the love of God. Like,
Yeah.
7 motions at you, Ulrin. I think this place was being watched. He points toward a gap in the boards shuttered over one of the storefront windows, and you can now see a phalanx of carvers moving in your direction.
Oh, yay.
Well, here we go.
Are we gonna kill someone?
what? No, he like
What
snaps
we're
his
gonna
face.
drop our pants?
No.
Yes, let's take our pants off and approach the carvers. That's a great idea.
No, did you not
You
hear?
guys will do great.
Did you not
Can I
hear the
take my-
description of his house? It's business downstairs. Pants
Should I
must stay
take
on.
my pants off? Should we do
No.
it now?
No.
Because I feel like it's rude to take your pants off when they're already here, standing in front of us.
Hmm.
No, that's just a power
true.
move.
We need to like first invite him like to a tavern, have like a good time, wait till it gets dark. Does it get dark in Kraghammer? How does that work?
Okay, I'm gonna
It's always
disappear
dark in
the
Kraghammer.
big giant sword that's on my back because that seems like a good
Yeah.
idea for them to not walk in.
As you all are talking, you hear a front
Hello.
door.
I'm gonna go towards the front door. I'm gonna have the paperwork and stuff ready,
Okay.
and I'm gonna open it.
Okay. There are 10 armed carvers standing
Horizontally.
in front of the door, and at the very front of the group is a dwarven woman, pretty average height, but her hairstyle belies nobility. It is done up in very, very tight, elaborate, multi-layered braids. Her hair is pure red, like fire. And she wears on her left index finger the crest of the Iron Keeper.
Marvel like licks her hands and like pulls her hair back a little bit, like. Hi.
It like ties her hair into like a bun and like straightens up too. Hey.
It's very attractive. Why? It's almost like you can see the
Ooh.
wisdom in her face. She's looking at all of you very curiously, but she keeps her gaze keeps flitting back to Ulrin. May we come in?
Of course. And I'll step aside and I'll let her come in.
Okay.
And let a couple of the guards come in. And
all of the guards come in except 2 peel off to stay stationed outside.
Yeah.
The last guard comes
There's
in.
not really a lot of...
Shuts the door. They have no weapons drawn. They are just at attention. And she looks around. She sees Alton. She's kind of taking stock of the entire scenario. Sees all of you. Looks back at Alton. She says, oh. Well, that figures. I am Governor Duskheart. I will say, aware of the situation around your exile, Master Ulrin. I'm curious as to how you got into the city undetected. And she's looking at Alton again, although I assume he had something to do with it.
Hi, you'd be correct in that. You see, he had a portal of types to jump in between a forge of mine. Well, it is my forge now, I suppose. And has been doing dark dealings with this forge, entrapping souls and weapons for dark purposes. We have apprehended him, and I am going to be taking the this teleportation device that he has to jump to the forge so that nobody will be able to use it.
I will come back to the question of this forge in a moment, because it's certainly not one housed here in Kraghammer, I'm assuming.
Nope.
Excellent. Do you have proof of his shady dealings?
Yeah, I'll just hand her the paperwork, like all the paperwork.
She puts it down.
Like,
a couple of the guards
just kind of flip through it.
Go to pick up Alton and get him on his feet. And he's wow, that's a lot of guards.
Sorry. He can't lie or keep secrets for probably a day. It was sort of an accident.
She's leafing through the pages and reading, and she looks over, and it's convenient, so when we need to interrogate him...
Yeah.
She goes through, she gets about halfway through the stack. She seems to be skimming, looking for very particular information. Her eyes are landing on certain spots in the bills of lading and the letters. Looking at names, looking at prices. And then about halfway through, out of the bag slung over her torso, she pulls out a smaller stack and hands it to Ulrin.
Hands a what?
It's a stack of papers.
Gotcha.
Now, it's interesting that you have this because I kept my own records. This was back when I was a Carver lieutenant some years ago. I never liked him. He always stank. He was just... There was something shady and greasy and underhanded about just even the way he breathed. I didn't like it. And my captain at the time persuaded me to lay off, which, sure. But when I became Iron Keeper a few months ago, I decided that the metalworks needed... It bore watching, we'll say. So I stayed up, and I hid in one of the buildings across the street to keep an eye out, and they were smart about it. They waited until the guard patrols had lessened through the evening, and they started moving crates in and out of the building. And I couldn't follow the wagon that left, but I was able to get a look inside one of the crates, and all it had in it were these kind of odd glowing crystals. And it was almost as if my hand had been drawn to it. It was a strange kind of... It's neither here nor there, but when I touched it, it's like what a mind flayer can do to you. Just terror and torment, like a living nightmare. And all I had were memories of someone being tortured. It's like I touched someone's soul.
Oh, that's you could. I mean, how would someone even do a?
She's keenly looking at all of you. Your cousin, I'm assuming you understand now that he was responsible ultimately for your exile.
Yes, I'm fully aware of that. I kind of figured from the beginning that it was him. I knew from the start that I don't know if it was jealousy or what it was that drove him to do this. Maybe it was just attention, but
it was
I
a little
that...
of all of the above. I hate your guts.
Yep.
And you were always way more talented and handsome, and your mother doted on you, and my mom just kept dropping me as a baby.
Oh, God.
Oh.
And also, you had a really, really hot girlfriend, and I was super jealous.
Oh God.
So I sent you to exile, I paid off the Iron Keeper, sent you to exile, and convinced everyone that Ellie had stolen things.
Well, there you go.
You could just see Davina looking back and forth and just...
I said I was sorry. He's just like... he's just like...
She looks at you, Euraxis, she goes, I might need you to teach me that particular trick. That's very handy. She's, so she gets over to Alton where the guards have him by the chains, and she says, do you confess to these crimes? Are you willing to submit yourself to the judgment of Kraghammer and to the Iron Keeper's throne? Says, oh, I did it. I definitely did it. There were even a few days where I regretted it, but for the most part, like, I made a lot of money, and it kept me in booze and all kinds of trouble. I even took the stuff called shadow weed once. It was really intense.
Oh, I did too.
Did you really?
I maybe should not. Oh, but I maybe should not. Yeah, dude, it really trips you out, and then really, oh, maybe.
I just saw this
Right next to
massive
it, the
lava
Kraghammer
monster.
police.
What did you see?
Wait. Oh, what did I actually saw? Oh, damn it! What did I saw?
You saw the
I saw
undead black
I saw a
dragon.
dragon. I saw an undead dragon.
Wow.
I saw the dragon in real life afterwards, but like, yeah.
You just see Davina go,
That was crazy.
Okay, I've heard
He's
enough.
He's
him, and the
Yeah.
guards are like gagging him, and he's. She goes, I swear, if he doesn't stop talking, I'm gonna have someone knock him out. He will be jailed, tried, and very likely just kept in the dungeon on the lower slab until his dying day. I always suspected that something else was going on. It's my understanding that another person caught up in Alton's schemes was sent to a fate, undeservedly so, in the burning mushroom fields. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
We do have knowledge of her movements to a certain degree. It is always the same with all of the endless patrols, that we have one person stationed with each patrol that reports back on the location, the creatures fought, any treasure found, etc. Last I knew, they were in a Minotaur's labyrinth. Recalling them may be very difficult, and she hands you 2 rings. These were rings taken from you and from Ellie on the days that your fate dies were cast. They are rings, they're your family crest rings. You have been reinstated as a full citizen of the city of Kraghammer. We can send a patrol out to locate Ellie and her companions, or you can find her. Just make sure that she comes back here to sign the paperwork, because unfortunately, no matter how much I push, some of these old fogies around here still want things signed.
Neuraxis. Does that mean his mother can come home.
Oh, she was never exiled. All properties being reinstated to the Bronze Drip family, namely Hetty and Ulrin, as the only, and she looks at Alton, surviving members of the family. It's yours to do with as you will. You're welcome to sell. You're welcome to reopen. I've heard a few things about your escapades of late, and that's how I became curious. Usually those exiled live on the surface, and they simply peter out of existence for the most part. They certainly don't become heroes of renown. It made me curious.
When she says heroes of renown, her ex is like elbows Hazel and gives her a thumbs up, like.
I return the thumbs up. He told you the name would spread.
Yep. So, welcome back to the city, Ulrin.
Thank you. I didn't think I would ever really be back. I'm glad to know that Kraghammer's in the right hands, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be staying here for long. However, I would like the forge to remain open, and I would like to make some changes, as it looks like you have done around here. We have some important things to do first, but if you don't mind, I would like it if my mother would be able to come back here and continue running as the forge master for a while.
I'll dispatch a patrol to let her know. If you wish to write her or message her in some way, you most certainly can. One thing, and this is possibly the only downside, no matter how much power I may wield, and Ellie is pardoned, but she can never return to the city. I'd have a revolt on my hands if I let members of the Endless Patrol take up housing here in Kraghammer. I am trying to change minds, but it's a slow, painful process. I might not succeed, but I'm going to try. However, and she hands you out of that same bag where she'd pulled the scouting reports, the reconnaissance reports that she had that she gives you. She says, those are yours. We have copies in the Iron Keeper's office as well. And this is yours. Whatever profits that we could scrape away from Alton's dealings here, once we knew that for certain that he was the root cause of the depravity here, use that to fix up the forge, to reclaim. You also have rights to reclaim any family heirlooms or items that were sold unjustly without your express permission out of the forge. You can collect those, and if anyone puts up a fuss, they can come talk to me.
I appreciate it. And I'll do what I can. It may be worthwhile for you to send a patrol to get Ellie. I'm not sure if we'll be able to go down yet. If we are able to go down and we have time, then we can go handle it. But as of right now, I'm not sure that's a priority for us. We have more important matters with some otherworldly evil. So
well, first we'll do that. We have a fair idea of her location, so I can send word once she's been retrieved. It may take, she's several weeks down, so it may take some time. The House Thunderbrand has some ability to help us teleport to get closer, but Even the magics of the Underdark are not completely penetrable by their knowledge. So I will speak with Drake and see what can be done. You all are aware of your status above ground, yes?
We
Ish.
missed an
Really?
appointment, but
Oh, right. Didn't Sid tell us that everyone was really pissed at us up on the surface?
yes,
Yeah.
time got away from us.
But before we deal with that, and I like turn to Ulrin, are you sure we don't want to go and save her? Like, we can go, can't we?
I mean, I don't know how much time we have left to stop this incursion. It's
I will remind you all, you have the ability to scry.
That is true.
You know, it's the life of one versus the life of all.
I mean,
I don't think I'm capable of making that decision. I don't think anybody should be prioritized above everyone.
Do you want to go, Ulrin? As in, if it were just up to you, would you want to go?
I would do anything in my power to go and save her. Yes.
Then let's go.
Then let's do it. Why are we still standing around here for?
Let's go get that bread.
We might need a rest, but
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we can bend all sorts of incredible things to our will. I'm sure we can get to her quickly, right?
Everyone on the surface seems to hate us already, so we might as well.
Right.
Us.
You all work out a rescue. Sorry, Iron Speaker. He stands up and hits his head on the seat. It's like, sorry. I take it you know who we are as a collection, but do you know who we are as individuals?
Reports are wildly mixed, especially with the edict that you all are traitors to the realm. Which you have to understand, that's coming out of Vasselheim. My impression is that neither Tal'Dorei nor Wildmount doesn't care, but they have their own issues. But Tal'Dorei, for the most part, seems to be convinced that you're not half bad. So
that's a pretty good description of us.
Yeah. We're not half bad.
So
on an individual level, only by description, not by reputation.
How do people do this? Okay. What would Volka say?
Do you want a bottle of our lumping up milk?
No.
Not right now.
Trevor, you could be the first to own it. It's a special gift, limited first edition.
Yeah.
As a thank you for welcoming us here, showing our appreciation.
It's produced by hand, or paw.
I tell you what, I'll hold off for now. But let's say it's a rain check, I think is the phrase.
So next time it rains, we'll come and get you a bottle.
That's absolutely what I meant. Yes.
Next time it rains in Kraghammer, you'll get a bottle.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, right. How do you, as the sovereign leader of a nation, feel about the Dragon Tal'Dorei and the Dragonborn? And okay, this is Dragonborn called Banar, and she is in charge. I'm pretty sure always not. Technically, while I'm not there, but I'm going to assume always because I don't think I'm really in charge because no one's had a vote or anything. But she also wants to change things and trade and stuff. I'm a soldier. I don't do politics.
You're okay. I will actually stop you there. White Dragonborn, right? Older, battle scarred. We've met. She's been here.
Okay.
She had a young tiefling man with her, and they, the mute tiefling man from the Barnacle Bards, who's always with them. And she says, we have discussed. I see great benefit to having loyal Dragonborn unmoored. Those who were lost, we'll say, after the fall of Draconia in the wake of Vorgel's attack, it would be worth definitely having Dragonborn here, and that is something that we've been in negotiations about. We'll wait for Chris.
Okay, good. That's fine. It's not very often I get to speak to, rulers of, that's not a thing I really.
I think Ulrin can tell you that this is quite unusual in Kraghammer standards, but it's my firm belief that you can't be a ruler of the people unless you were once one of them, and working your way up the ranks certainly does something to cement your belief in the power of the common person. So, I do believe she's actually due back here in a few months. She was headed to, I think, Whitestone. She was going across the mountains to Whitestone to speak with the Derolos there.
Okay, that's yep. Okay, I'm just gonna sit, but like.
So,
thank you.
Of course. If business here is concluded, I do need to go back to rather boring administrative tasks, but the Carvers know of your presence here, and they will not stop you. So.
Speaking of which, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you know the name Sir Edwin Dunnage?
I do.
Does he live here?
He did. He left for the surface some time ago.
You know where he is now?
We could check. We don't. One of the difficulties that I discovered on my very first day in office was that the records that we were supposedly keeping to allow people to go back and forth between Kraghammer and the surface were largely quote-unquote lost. Meaning that once you went to the surface, if you tried to come back, you were denied access. Literal gatekeeping. So, I can check, but there's a decent chance his records are probably gone like so many others.
It's fine. It's not like a hugely important thing. I was just curious.
Of course.
Nice.
I will leave you all to it. Ulrin, welcome home.
Thank you.
And she nods, and her guard turn in time with her, and they leave. And she says on her way out, she said, I will leave 2 guards outside should anyone give you any problems. There are still many here who are not, well, let's just say most are not aware of your newly instated status. I will make sure that that happens, but we have had rumblings of those. Well, likely if they don't like me, they won't like you. So it's a just-in-case maneuver, although you all look like you can handle yourselves. So, however, I will be taking him, and she starts pulling on Alton's chains. I'm assuming you don't want responsibility for this anymore.
No, but we would like the chains back.
Oh, of course. So they swap chains out for chains. And when she hands them over, she says, you must tell me where you got those. Some point later. That would be handy.
Or maybe I can make some for you in the future.
Well, consider it, if you reopen the forge, consider it your first commission.
A rain check. So next time it rains, we're gonna make some chains and milk.
Only in Kraghammer. The chains can happen anytime. The lumpy, if I'm understanding correctly, and it sounds like it's a very complicated process, the lumpy nut milk must be made on a rainy evening in Kraghammer.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my eye out.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, after all of the things we've done, I feel like making it rain in Kraghammer should not be that difficult.
I think I can make it rain.
Yeah. That's what I figured. You're very talented.
As she walks out the door, closes it behind her, you do hear the crack of thunder outside. Alright. So, long rest, short rest? What are you doing?
I mean, I would be good to go personally after a short rest. Everything for me comes back and I have all of my hit dice. So, but, you know.
I get a lot of stuff back on a short rest, but it's who has magical transposition and do they need a rest?
Yeah.
I don't think I used a lot of spells in the last session in the fight.
I'm pretty good on spells, but if I do a short rest, I can get more healing back.
Yeah, I'm alright on spells, so...
I should be alright.
What level is the teleportation spell at? Or is that only
teleportation, I think, is 6th?
Teleportation is 7th.
Circle?
7th. But did we get the ability as we can do it once per day or something?
Oh, the stone.
Oh no, the stone is whenever.
Oh, because that was a stone.
And how is there any limit on how many times a day? We don't know.
She just said until the power's tapped.
Yeah, so we just have to be careful.
Maybe don't go flinging it around, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I have teleport and plane shift. I just can only use one of them a day. And I have that spell slot free. Or like, I have it.
I don't have any transport prepared right now, but I can have that later.
So could we scry on where they are, teleport their stone back,
kick a bunch of minotaur butt, save Ulrin's girlfriend, and we're out of there.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Quite.
All in a day's work.
All in like 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's first? Does anyone who wants to roll hit die, you may do so, because Seven's gonna do that.
I guess we're not doing a short rest.
We're doing a short rest?
It's
short rest, right? Short rest.
Well, I was just making sure, because if we're doing a short rest, I could do prayer of healing, and so we regain the max.
Do a short rest.
The max of the hit dice.
Please keep your shirt on.
Alright, I'll do
pants off.
prayer of healing.
Okay.
Oh.
Right.
So I think that's max hit dice, so
wait, so we automatically roll max hit?
You roll the max on the die.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the spell just to make sure.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Song of Rest is
6
D6.
creatures of your choice regain hit points equal to 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. Oh wait, never mind. That's not. Oh, isn't it? It's like Prayer of Rest or something. I thought...
Song of Rest. It's Volkar used to do it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Prayer of Healing. Never mind.
You can do whatever you need to. You have 13 hit die, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. So hit die rolled. Who's scrying on who now? What's going on?
Yeah. Who am I gonna scry on?
Yeah, someone came up with something. There you go.
Ellie, I would assume, so that we can accurately target her. Or actually, I can, because then I'll get the spell slot back on a short rest.
Oh.
Do it.
That seems like a better idea.
Yeah.
Hey, Ulrin, because it's important to ask people before you do this. As I discovered, I'm a scry on your lady friend.
If you, actually, if you need something to focus on, and I'll hand him the ring, because that's a personal belonging. So I think that's better for the scry. So I'll hand him the ring and say, if you need this, will probably help you focus on them. Just give it back whenever you're done. And I'm just gonna go upstairs and kind of check my old room and everything, and just kind of chill and relax.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This shouldn't take me long.
Okay. So scrying on Ellie, you have the ring.
Yep.
So you have a personal possession. Yes.
Yes.
You're familiar. Okay. And you have. Okay. So.
Yeah, second hand and a possession.
And a possession. Okay.
No.
What's your save DC?
18.
Oh. Shit. She rolled a 19.
Yep.
I had to double check just to be sure. Yep. But you get a... No, because you're only familiar. Okay, and then possession...
Yeah. So it ends up a +5 and then a -2.
Yep, so +3. Yep, okay. It just kind of... You can feel her essence, but you can't see her.
I mean, it's fair enough. If you didn't know who was scrying on you, you'd probably be naturally reticent.
Weirded out.
Yep.
Oh, good. Yeah.
She's strong-willed. Sorry.
Want me to try?
He holds the ring to Ulrin. He's like, "Should I?"
I mean, I'm upstairs. I walked upstairs. I'm in my room, probably laying down or searching and trying to find what's all missing. So,
okay,
but I mean, you have a sense that Ulrin wouldn't mind. He entrusted it with you guys, so.
Okay. So same deal. What is your DC, Alicia?
18.
Okay, same thing. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yours goes through. Boy, those were freaking lopsided rolls. The familiar sense of that out-of-body experience that scrying creates immediately gives you a vision focused on Ellie, like scry works, and you see this. She is kind of sandwiched between a human woman dressed in leathers and furs, carrying a very, very large halberd at her side. Ellie is moving towards Inlan, who you know, and there is a conversation between her and Inlan happening, and she says, "Okay, we have moved this way. We're going around in circles. We're going to die down here, and this is not how I want to go out." And he turns and he says, I'm pretty sure this is the way. I mean, a minotaur creates its labyrinth to be vexing. It's possible for there to be warps in time. It's possible for there to be illusions. We just have to be patient in order to take what comes. And they are having this conversation, and then the elven man up front suddenly forms this blade of light, like he's pulled it out of the ether, very similar to what Neuraxis does with his weapon. And he turns and he says, "Something's coming." And so they all start to kind of back up a little bit to go around the corner as he's ushering them out of eyesight, just as... Where did that thing go? This strange little toothy-looking creature comes around the corner. I don't know if that laid down my thing or not. It did not. It's being a butthead. And it's like 2 feet tall with these limbs that are these arms that are dragging on the ground and its claws scraping against the stone. And you just hear it go... and it's like it's searching for them. So they all slowly start to kind of back out of view, and the last thing you see is Ellie. She's got a grip on her sword, and she's just readying herself for combat as this thing begins to approach.
I will relay that, and I think we have to hurry.
Yeah, can we not just teleport to where they are?
We can. We need Ulrin, though.
We need
Ulrin, come down!
Oh, does Elijah get anything special for that being a divination spell?
I would get a spell slot back, but I was filled, so...
Okay. I mean, I'll come downstairs once I hear that.
And Hazel yelling at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
We saw them in a maze. There was a creepy laughing thing coming towards them. We should probably head out.
All right. I'm ready.
Should we use...
You're all heading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we teleporting, or are we using the stone?
How many of them were there, including? I'm just thinking for getting back out, is the stone or is you going to be better?
Yeah, how many people can the spell Celestial Stone teleport?
Teleport can teleport me and up to 8 willing creatures.
There are 5 of them.
Yeah, so that wouldn't...
Then again, they're not all technically free and clear of being down there, but it just seems cruel to leave them a person down in a maze.
Thank you for the gnome. Bye. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might not go over so well.
Look.
Well, and you are known to Inlon. Well, most of you. So.
That is true.
It's been a long time since you've seen him, but yeah, you are known entities to him.
Yeah. He was a good guy, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. He was the one saving people from the fire in Ulrin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a paladin of the Dawnfather.
We should get all of them out there.
So if I teleport us there, do we know how many the stone can take?
But then some of them will probably have to stay, right?
Yeah.
Prisoners or whatever. That's a bridge to cross. One. Oh, Ulrin.
Yeah.
Motions to Elijah to give him back.
Yeah. I give you back the ring.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay. Teleport.
Teleporting. Okay.
What do we gotta do? Hold hands, form a circle.
Hold hands, probably.
Nice.
I've never done this before.
Hands.
So you all teleport, and sorry, I'm moving so many tokens around right now. It's just, and as you do, the first thing, well, you register a lot of things all at once. You register a battle, you register blood, and the sound of a massive, this guy, Minotaur, armored, his horns made of metal. This is a moving, living statue going in for the kill just as it charges all of you. And we will pick up there next time.
Nice.
Because that is a fight, and that would take another hour. So, so thank you all for watching. We had people like jumping in. You're at game 51, y'all. We've been here for 2.5 years. Like, I'm very glad you're here. There's a lot of shit prior to this that's gonna make no sense. You're like, why was he exiled? What's going on? Why are they saving this woman? What are they talking about, guides? What's happening? All of that is available on our Twitch channel. We didn't stream for a long time. We recorded. Some recordings have been lost to the ether because Hallie didn't know what the fuck she was doing. So there's that part of it. There's a lot of story there. If you're curious, you can go catch us on this channel. You can go to our YouTube channel. All of that is linked on Twitter at terrible_party. And yeah, so we're going to figure out February dates because I've got shit going on and other folks have shit going on. So we will post. We will use the Twitters and let you know about Game 52 and hopefully 53 here very, very soon. But yay, no idea what's happening, but I'm enjoying it. I love it.
This fight looks easy. Yes. Nothing to worry about.
That's because we've been cohesive as a unit for so very long. We are in the final stages of this campaign, so it's horrifying, terrifying, and also bittersweet and happy all at the same time. Lots of conflicting emotions about that. So we will catch you all next time. Again, we'll let you know about February dates because some things are kind of up in the air right now, and I'm going to be on sick leave, so neither here nor there. But we will catch you all next time. Thank you very much for stopping in. We so appreciate it. And check out some announcements, hopefully coming next month, about our next charity stream. We're doing them on March 27th and 28th. I am celebrating my 35th birthday with the charity stream because I feel like that's appropriate to do that. Yeah, why not? We're going to be raising money for various kids' charities, especially charities that help kids and families dealing with homelessness, poverty, and situations of domestic violence and abuse. So look for more announcements later, but we'll have a good time with that for sure. And be good to each other. I think that's usually our general message is don't be assholes. Pretty easy.
Don't be assholes.
Don't be assholes. Don't be Sam. Okay, everyone just wait.
Wait for it.
Content warning.
Oh, no.
Now you can draw your dick on the map.
Oh no.
Draw your dick on the map. Do it quickly. Everyone duck out if you don't want that, because Twitch will ban us.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
There it goes.
There it is. Okay, now we're done. All right. Bye, everyone.
Nice.